Hello. Um, just tearing apart a Dell Latitude D630, and it has a issue with a broken hinge and a password that's been set that we're trying to get rid of. Thought you'd like to see what's in your laptop or your PC. It's all the same. Doesn't matter if it's Apple, it's a Mac, Mac Air or whatever. They all have the same thing. It's just a little larger, smaller, a little different looking. But they all have what's called a motherboard, and that's this motherboard here. And you hear them talk about a 1 gigahertz processor, 2 gigahertz processor, whatever, AMD, Intel, and so forth. They're talking about this. This is what does all the processing. It's the central processing unit. And you can upgrade that sometimes. If your motherboard will let you, you can go from like a 1 gigahertz to a 2 gigahertz or a 3 gigahertz. And it will help with speed and performance of your computer. There's also memory. This is your memory. This is what it looks like in a laptop. This is volatile memory, meaning as soon as you turn your computer off, what's on this goes away. Your PC's memory is a longer stick. It looks like this. And this is when you're talking about, 1 gig of RAM, 2 gig of RAM, 3 gig of RAM, and so forth. You can see they're a lot bigger and different, and there's about 3 different styles of this depending on the age of your computer. Then you have your hard drive. This is kind of, I guess, non-volatile. You can erase it, but what you store on this pretty much will stay until you do erase it. This particular one here is a 120 gigabyte hard drive. You can get all the way up to a terabyte, 3 terabytes, whatever, depending on how much your space you have in your computer. What you put on this stays on this until you erase it. When you run out of room because of too many pictures or programs, this is what you have to upgrade. You really won't get a performance upgrade on it necessarily. You'll just be able to store more items. Now, if you switch to a solid state drive, it will give you a performance increase. Think of it as a hard drive that doesn't lose its memory when you turn it off, but it's made of computer chips. There's also some hybrid drives which use both, but mainly solid state drives just have chips in them, and it's much faster to read and write to these than it is to this. This has a little disc in it that spins and some heads, and it has to write the data to the drive. In order to get it, it has to find it, pull it off, send it, and whatnot. Solid state or chips are just a lot faster than that is. You have your cooler. Some computers use different style coolers. This one has what they call heat pipe. It sits on the processor like so and absorbs heat. Heat goes down to these little fins which sit on this bottom shell like so, and then this fan blows air through and the heat comes out the back of the computer. Without that, your computer would overheat probably in a matter of minutes, burn up, shut down, something. Either way, you wouldn't be able to use it. This is the upper shell. This is a little CMOS battery. CMOS is where your computer stores your settings, time, etc. Without that, you'd have to reset all that stuff every time you turned your computer on. Your mouse buttons, touchpad, and so forth. keyboard, your PC or your desktop. This is what your hard drive looks like in it. As you can see, it's much larger than your laptop hard drive is. It doesn't necessarily mean it holds more. It's just a little bit different makeup. Maybe multiple platters. You know, it might have 2 or 3 platters in it instead of just one single platter to help with maybe data access speeds and write speeds and stuff like that. But that's what's in your computer. Really doesn't matter what kind you have. It's all the basic necessities that you have to do and have in order to use your computer and for it to function properly. So I'm going to try to fix a hinge and get rid of a password, and I'll let you know how that goes. Bye.